Hey, it's Alex from Camelot, and you are watching CMS TV. Rock on.
From their 1989 release, Errol Flynn, that's The Dog's Day More, with Drunk Like Me, going up a request to Sydney Ralston checking in. And before that, we heard Motley Crue from their 1994 release, featuring John Corabi on lead vocal with Misunderstood. That one going out by request to John Phillips. And we heard Royal Bliss with Hard and Loud. And that one going out by request to Skippy.
All right, there we go.
So we've gotten everybody's request in. So hope everybody else is drunk like me. I'm having a cocktail out of the CMS glass.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, look at how fancy that looks.
Wow, look at that.
Frosty cold Jack and Coke. Just freezing up that CMS glass.
That's right.
You can get that over there at our what's the name of that company?
Teespring.
Teespring. At our Teespring page.
Just go to our page on CMSPN.
Yeah, I ordered a set of these for my personal use, and I'm putting it to use.
There you go. Wouldn't do you much good just to have it in a cupboard, now would it?
Yeah. So cheers, everyone.
That's right.
All right. Do you have anything in particular?
Take it away, Chief.
All right. So this is the I talked about this earlier about, you and I, we talked about this earlier about, our different various likes and dislikes and things that we talk about here on the show, and some of it's people's cup of tea, some of it is not people's cup of tea. But one of the things that really got under people's skin, especially during the mostly peaceful riots of the Black Lives Matter a few years ago,
right,
was the fact that people were out defending their areas or their towns, and one of the ones that caught a lot of heat and a lot of spotlight was Kyle Rittenhouse.
That's right.
Who was a young man who was patrolling the streets up in Wisconsin during the mostly peaceful riots.
Sure.
And he was basically threatened with his life, and he ended up shooting a couple of guys up there because they were attacking him.
That's right.
So anyway, here we are, 4 years removed, almost 4 years removed from that. And he is now a college campus speaker.
Right.
So he is going around to college campuses encouraging people in their Second Amendment rights.
Right.
Well, I brought this I brought this story to the table just because of the way that the verbiage that is used in this article. Kyle Rittenhouse is not a typical college campus speaker. In 2020, at the age of 17, he took an AR-15 style rifle to a Black Lives Matter demonstration.
Ooh, a demonstration.
And he fired it, and he killed 2 people, injuring a third. Now, the way that that's written, if you don't know the story, you would think that he took a gun to the thing and just fired into the crowd.
Right. Just unloaded.
Just started blasting away.
That's right.
But this is how the liberal news covers these things. They always put it in a very sensationalized form and lead you to believe that he just took a gun to this demonstration and just started mowing people down.
That's right.
Rittenhouse said he pulled the trigger in self-defense and was acquitted of wrongdoing. So he went through the process of our justice system. He stood trial for it. He was acquitted of the charges, and that's how it's
Yes.
supposed to work.
Mm-hmm.
But because he got acquitted and people go, he should have, well, he got judged by the jury of his peers.
Right.
And they
Mm-hmm.
said, don't see anything wrong with what he did. And he was acquitted of all charges.
Yeah.
Should be left alone. But
I
no,
agree.
can't let that go.
Nope. My mom
Yes.
is one of these people, by the way.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. See the picture I got up on the stage right now, or
Yes,
on the
I see
screen?
that. Yeah.
That was at Kent State last week,
Yeah.
and Seth went down there, and
know,
Bob France.
Yeah, I know that Kyle was at Kent State.
Yeah, well, that's him in the middle with the dog.
Right.
That's him right there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But Seth went down there, and Bob France went down there, who's Seth's boss for his day gig, the Bob France show.
Right.
And a few of these people in the picture are listeners to the Seth show.
Okay.
And so at the end, they got to take a picture with Kyle Rittenhouse. So my mom, who's friends with Seth on Facebook,
Okay.
I was talking to her. She's like,
that's just kind of funny that your mom is friends with your friends on Facebook.
yeah. My mom, well, you've met my mom. She's,
Yeah, of course.
She's definitely not an old lady. She's
No. I don't mean that. It's just, I just find that funny.
Oh, yeah.
Just, you know.
Well, she goes, is Seth a fan of Kyle Rittenhouse? And I said, yeah, I think so. Oh, Jesus. And I was like, what? She's like, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to even talk about it. I was like, all right, well, whatever. You know, she's all upset about it. And boy, she really doesn't want to know that I'm a fan of Kyle Rittenhouse.
Well, I mean, but why? What's her stance?
Leans to the left.
Well, I understand, but what does she think Kyle Rittenhouse did or did?
Murdered innocent people.
So he was supposed to be getting beaten to death with a skateboard, but he wasn't supposed to defend himself.
She buys this narrative that it was a demonstration, not a riot.
Mm-hmm.
That they were just, they were just explaining their dismay at the situation.
Really? They weren't.
And this guy just unloaded.
All right.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was just funny because she's talking to me, and she's asking me about Seth, and I just was like, I'm not going to get into this with my mom.
Right. I'm not. There's going to be some blocked user in your future, there, pal. No more Facebook friends with you.
That's right. Stop friending my friends.
All right. He has since penned a book, Acquitted, and has set out on a series of college speaking events dubbed the Rittenhouse Recap. He is slated to appear Thursday at Clemson University in South Carolina. Rittenhouse is selling books and ostensibly promoting the right to bear arms on campus, but he's also trying to persuade young people to join the conservative movement.
What a son of a bitch!
Yeah. Well, can you find that, since you're talking Kent State and guns, can you find that famous picture of Caitlin Bennett marching onto the Kent State campus with her gun on her graduation day? Because she graduated from Kent State, and Kent State had a no gun policy for students, but they didn't have a no gun policy for people who were not students. So on her graduation day, she was no longer a student. So she came on campus with her gun slung over her shoulder, which kind of launched her into the conscious of the public, because that picture made the rounds. And it's like, look at this. Look at this.
What a criminal bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, there she goes. Look at that fucking cunt.
Bitch!
But yeah,
what happened to her? Is she still around, or?
Yeah, she's still around, but she became like a Catholic, hardcore Catholic, and she's banged out a baby, and she's got fat now, and she's not the cute little. She's not the cute little hottie that you see in that picture. She's kind of a mom now.
It's over.
It's over. She got married and banged out a puppy and got all religious and shit. So,
well, good for her.
So it's just not. fun anymore. So all I got to do is remember this.
Yeah, and she looked out there.
But that was her graduation day where she went marching onto the campus because she was no longer a student.
Right.
So she could legally carry her gun
Right.
onto the campus. And, Kyle Rittenhouse over there at Kent State obviously was there because you had the picture.
Yeah. Yep.
Just look at that. Sashaying onto campus in that sexy dress, wearing that awful piece of armament.
Mm-hmm. And now, just a couple years later, she's Dorothea Bon Jovi.
Yeah, she's Dorothea Bon Jovi.
Sad.
Pretty much. Rittenhouse is selling books and ostensibly promoting the right to bear arms on campus, but he's also trying to persuade young people to join the conservative movement. The key group behind the appearance, Turning Point USA, is led by self-described youth director of President Donald Trump's first campaign and key ally rallying votes for Trump this year. The group told USA Today that it isn't a nationally organized tour, that its chapters independently requested Rittenhouse. Student chapter leaders told USA Today that Rittenhouse is an important conversation starter. I think sometimes you have to be kind of a polarizing to pull a crowd, said Brady Seymour, president of Turning Point USA chapter at Kent State University. The provocative choice of backing the Rittenhouse tour as par for the course for Turning Point and its local affiliate. The provocative. So provocative. Oh, he supports the Second Amendment. How provocative of him.
What a son of a bitch.
Yeah, we have an amendment. We have a Second Amendment in this country, and it's provocative if you support that.
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you, support the law?
Yeah, exactly. It's par for the course and its local affiliates, which have hosted controversial figures like Nick Fuentes, a white nationalist and Holocaust denier.
Oh, well.
But it has stirred up devastating pain and disdain in a man he almost killed.
Oh, my God.
He used every movement to gloat and make light of the taking a life, Paul Predinger said, speaking publicly for the first time about what
Did
happened.
he? I don't remember that.
Yeah, there she is. There's Caitlin.
Oh, what happened?
I know.
That's not good at all.
Mm-mm. She got the fat mom arms going on.
Yeah, no.
I know.
Good on her.
Yikes.
No.
Yeesh.
All right, Dorothea.
Paul Prediger said, speaking publicly for the first time about what happened at the protest of Rittenhouse speech last week at Kent State, as if it were not enough, Kyle has embraced and has been embraced by those who peddle hateful rhetoric, who believe in nationalism that excludes those who don't look like or think like them, and who have sought to amplify a troubling desire for violence against supposed political, cultural, and religious enemies.
Yes.
Really, violence?
Yes. I'm for it. Look, I'm one of the people they're afraid of. I'm absolutely at this point, when I go to X and I see all these beatings and everything, and I know which side of the aisle they're coming from, I am for the violence. I'm for the cops breaking fucking skulls.
Yeah, well, that's a little bit different, but Kyle Rittenhouse is not out there saying, hey, if you got an enemy, you should mow them down.
No, not at all. But of course, that's what they're spewing.
But that's what they're saying. This is why I brought the story, because this is how they frame it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, yeah, you should blow them away.
Yeah, well, the media are all liars, so
I know they are.
We know that.
Rittenhouse message on campus tour that the students should be allowed to take up arms, including defend off these Hamas Palestine terrorists if they invade the dormitories.
Yes.
As sparked by protest and raised questions about free speech and just how far it it should be allowed to go.
What do you mean allowed to go? It should be allowed to go as far as it goes.
Yeah.
Jesus.
If someone is breaking into your house or your dormitory with the intent to harm you, it doesn't matter if they're Palestinian or Hamas terrorist or anybody. It doesn't matter who they are. They're just an intruder.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what their stance is. It's just like, oh, well, he's supporting Palestinian, the Gaza
right.
thing. Oh, I guess I better not shoot him, even though he's coming in to beat up on
come on in, have a seat. Let me get you a donut.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
A similar question helped lead to the resignations of the presidents of the University of Pennsylvania and Harvard University, who stepped down amid fierce criticism for equivocating when asked if calls for genocide of Jews would be allowed on campus. Rittenhouse, in a statement provided by a spokesperson, Gillian Anderson, said his campus appearance are not part of our official tour or book-selling venture, and he is reminding students of their rights. Every American has the constitutional right to bear arms, he said, and it should not be infringed by the college campus, which is what Caitlin was doing years ago. That was the whole gist of her stunt, which is, like I said, is what launched her into the public conscious.
Right.
She was advocating for that as well. That was like 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago.
Right.
Experts say context matters. A law professor at the University of Chicago and a faculty director of the Forum of Free Inquiry and Expression told U.S. Today that federal regulations require colleges and universities to ensure their learning environment is not hostile. Yeah, well, you allow a conservative speaker on the campus and look at all the hostility that gets riled up. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's fine, but God forbid you get 10 fucking dorks that don't want to celebrate a tranny book reading to 4-year-olds, and you're somehow a fucking terrorist.
Right. Within that framework, some incendiary language could be permitted in a general public space, but prohibited if directed at an individual or a group. That's a key distinction, he said. Is it said in general as part of a general demonstration, or is it shouted at a particular group of people who might then reasonably perceive it as being a threat of some kind? And if it's the latter, then it could be punished.
Speech.
On the evening of August 25th, 2020, Rittenhouse brought a rifle to the site of an intense protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin, sparked by the police shooting of Jacob Blake, a 29-year-old black man. Amid a scuffle with protesters, Rittenhouse fatally shot Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber and wounded Predinger. In the trial that drew national attention in 2021, Rittenhouse said he shot the men in self-defense after Rosenbaum threatened his life and Predinger pointed a gun at him. Predinger said he thought Rittenhouse was an active shooter. Critics said Rittenhouse had no right to fire his weapon here's the quote for you, and was illegally acting as a vigilante militia.
All right, well, that's a little ridiculous, but he was underage, correct?
He was of age to be able to
was he to have that gun?
To have a rifle, yeah, not a handgun, a rifle.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't have a handgun; he had a rifle.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
But that's the whole thing. What does that even mean? Illegally acting as a vigilante militia.
Yeah, well, how about this? If the police ain't going to do it, if the police aren't going to protect our property, then we have to. Call that whatever the fuck you want to call it. If somebody comes to my fucking property and tries to take it, I don't give a goddamn what the law is. I am going to put a bullet in your fucking skull. Does that make me a vigilante? You're goddamn right it does. Because I'm not going to fucking just lay down for you. I'm not going to do it. I will not do it. And I think most people are getting to that point. We can't trust law enforcement anymore. These cocksucking motherfucking dickbags on the left have made law enforcement into an absolute crime. Well, that doesn't mean that we're just going to bend over and take it in the ass. Fuck you. Fuck your ideology. We're not going to do it. You want to move these goddamn immigrants into town? Fine. But if they come in my house, they're taking a bullet. Call that whatever you want to call it. That's what it is.
Right.
Fuck them, man.
Yeah, it's just citizen policing is all it is.
It's taking care of your own shit.
Right, of course. It's citizen policing. It's just a jury acquitted him of all 5 charges he faced, including intentional homicide. So he was charged, he was incarcerated, he was tried, and he was acquitted.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah. He went through his trial. That's it.
The facts were presented. The jury looked at it. They said, yeah, we're going to, no charges. And he was acquitted. That should be the end of the story. And they go, well, the justice system did what it's supposed to. You can't just go, well, that was a crock of shit.
Yeah.
It didn't turn out the way that I think it should have came out.
Yeah, so we got to do something else about it.
Yeah. Rittenhouse soon took on celebrity status in right-wing circles where the right to bear arms and use them to defend life and property is sacrosanct. Is that wrong? Is that wrong that you want to defend yourself and property?
Yeah, I mean, if it's wrong, I don't want to be right.
I don't get the premise of this at all. That they're trying to frame this as if you want to defend yourself and your property by bearing legal arms, that there's something wrong with that.
Yeah. And meanwhile, and I'm going to be honest, I'll be as real as I can be here. 20 years ago, when you could sort of trust the police to come, if you called and said, hey, somebody's trying to break into my fucking house, and the police would show up and handle it, maybe then you didn't need as much vigilante justice. But now where the cops are saying point blank, we're just not coming. We're not coming for domestics. We're not coming for any of that shit. Well, doesn't mean that I'm just going to lay down and let somebody fucking ass rape me and then shoot me in the head for good measure.
Exactly.
Just not going to do it.
Right.
I don't give a shit what your law says or what your feeling says I should do. I'm not going to wait for the counselor to come and talk him down.
Right.
I'm going to shoot him in the fucking face.
Right. The weekend after his trial, he flew to Florida to visit Trump.
Oh my God, son of a bitch.
Man, at his Mar-a-Lago resort and to appear on Fox News for an interview with conservative host Tucker Carlson.
Racist, racist, racist.
At Kent State, Rittenhouse implored students to fight to be allowed to carry guns at school. We have these blue boxes that are on the campus. We've all seen them. You push a button, it calls the police, and you get connected to a dispatcher, he said. How long does it take a cop to show up, though, when somebody is trying to kidnap you or somebody is threatening your life? Is that the quickest option to be able to protect yourself?
Yeah.
He encouraged students to join conservative groups like Turning Point USA and said elected officials don't care about them. What makes me really scared, and I get really upset that people, especially young campus students, aren't allowed to carry firearms, just because I'm scared that what happens is if Hamas Palestinian terrorists come to the U.S. and try to attack us, Rittenhouse said, we're supposed to be left defenseless. Are you supposed to be left defenseless because you're not allowed to have a gun in your dormitory?
Yeah.
After Prediger, formerly known as Gage Grossprouts, whatever, criticized his speaking tour, Rittenhouse posted a video clip on X, formerly Twitter. It showed Prediger admitting he pointed a gun at Rittenhouse direction before being shot. Rittenhouse did not include text in the post.
Okay.
In the days leading up to his arrival at Kent State, demonstrators staged a walkout, organized a vigil, and spray painted "Welcome Killer" on free speech land.
Oh,
Ooh. A change.org petition urged the university and Turning Point USA to cancel Rittenhouse visit, gathered more than 3,700 signatures. The event spurred Prediger to speak out. Hundreds showed up to the protest. I stand with the students of Kent State University who have had enough, he said. Students said it was particularly insensitive for the campus to host Rittenhouse and his message about guns on campus, given the gun's history. On May 4th, 1974, students were gunned down at Kent State when the Ohio National Guard fired into a crowd gathered to protest the invasion of Cambodia during the Vietnam War. So we're still stuck on that 50
well,
years
it's
ago.
too soon. It's only 54 years ago. It's too soon.
Only that long ago.
Yeah, come on.
And besides,
happened.
it wasn't like some terrorist vigilante opened fire. There was a whole, and that whole Kent State campus shooting, that's an interesting story in itself, especially
Right.
the temperature of the nation and things that were going on at the time, and how things just kind of escalated to where things happened.
Right.
So Amy Flores, a representative from the university's Spanish and Latin Student Association, said the organization encouraged students to learn more about Turning Point USA, their hateful actions on campus throughout this whole year, why we don't agree with their actions. Seymour, the school's Turning Point chapter president, said the event was about creating conversation. It had no relation to the 1970 killing of the protesters, he said. In his speech, he talked mostly about having the right to carry on campus, considering students aren't allowed at Kent State. These two stories are completely different and 50 years apart, he said. Other Rittenhouse recap appearances prompted vocal opposition and protest. At Western Kentucky University, protesters held a sit-in and a march last month. His appearance at East Tennessee State University in February also sparked demonstrations. Local reports show one protester wielding a sign accusing Turning Point of empowering stochastic terrorism.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Stochastic. Stochastic. The incitement of violence through public demonstration of a person or a group. Okay.
Having a random probability distribution or pattern that may be analyzed statistically, but may not be predicted precisely.
Okay. Sounds pretty random to me.
Yeah.
In the days leading up to Rittenhouse's appearance at the University of Memphis in March, the school fielded a barrage of complaints from students, faculty, and community members. Protesters held signs with messages like "Put Rittenhouse behind bars," because why?
Because. Don't you know?
Why?
Because he's Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh, put Rittenhouse behind bars, not a podium, because he did what?
You mean he was found not guilty?
Oh. Rittenhouse abruptly left the stage after about 30 minutes as protesters shouted him down. University said allowing the event and the protester upholds key tenets of American democracy and an academic tradition, free speech and freedom of assembly. Turning Point USA chapter in the University of Memphis is registered student organization. The school says we cannot ban speech because it would go against a core value because of well-established laws governing free speech on public university campuses. Kent State said in a statement provided to USA Today, upholding the First Amendment rights of free speech and peaceful assembly for all. The university has a long history of allowing peaceful dialogue from all points of view, including those who some may feel are offering different and or sometimes controversial opinions.
Right.
Turning Point USA has a track record of booking controversial and provocative figures, placing at the center of debate over the First Amendment rights on college campuses, where it said it has grown to more than 800 chapters since its founding in 2012, in late 2016 and early 2017. The group was behind a nationwide campus speaking tour of Milo, how do you say his name?
Yiannopoulos.
Yeah, that's how you say it. A former Breitbart writer banned from Twitter for harassing and dropped from the agenda at the Conservative Political Action Conference after video surfaced of him defending sexual relations between 13-year-old boys and grown men. Whatever his name is, said he was joking and may have used the imprecise language. In 2019, Turning Point's Iowa State University chapter claimed partial responsibility for extending a speaking invitation to Fuentes, a white nationalist who said he wants a total Aryan victory and self-identified as a sexist man, according to the Southern Poverty Law. A sexist man. Last year, representatives of the group confronted and criticized and assaulted an LGBTQ instructor at Arizona State University in Tempe. And then it just keeps going on and on.
Right.
On. I read all this, but anyway, it's so controversial to talk about your Second Amendment rights.
Yeah, well, dude, anything lawful is controversial now.
I guess.
If it isn't based in feelings, then you're not allowed to talk about it.
I guess.
That's just where we are now.
Yeah. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, it's just fucking stupid. It's fucking
all right,
stupid.
Well, getting on to public discourse here.
Okay.
A woman who identified herself as an employee of the state of Utah is facing a criminal charge after police say she tugged down another woman's skirt because she believed it was too short.
Oh. Okay.
A Utah woman recorded in a viral video showing an ID badge and saying she's a state employee after tugging down a young woman's skirt that she said was too short is now facing criminal charges. Ida Ann Lorenzo, 48, of Santa Clara, was charged Tuesday with sexual battery, a Class A misdemeanor, after calling 911 on Sunday to report that a video of the confrontation was spreading online and saying she holds a position with the state and was being identified, which she believed posed a threat against her life. Oh. The charge carries potential sentencing of up to a year in jail and up to a $2,500 fine.
Yeah, why doesn't she just mind her own fucking business?
A spokesperson for the St. George Police Department confirmed to KSL TV Lorenzo is a state employee. KSL TV reported it had received information Lorenzo may work for the Utah Attorney General's office. The office did not confirm Lorenzo's employment, but told the TV station it is aware of the alleged incident and is addressing the situation. In the video, which now has more than 200,000 views on TikTok, ooh, Lorenzo tells a young woman waiting at the St. George restaurant with friends, "I happen to work for the state, and if I have to see your ass cheeks hanging out again, I will call Child Protective Services," a reference to Utah's Child Protective Service office. According to a caption on the video, Lorenzo became upset my friend is wearing a mini skirt. So she aggressively yanks it down and says, "You're probably underage. You probably shouldn't be wearing that." Then causes a scene in a busy restaurant. Lorenzo met with the St. George police officer Sunday after making the call, telling him the young woman was wearing a short skirt and that a 10-year-old boy seated near her had pointed to the woman's clothing, and the boy's father did not do anything about it.
Okay.
Ida felt that it was her responsibility to address the female by approaching her and attempted to pull down the female's skirt over what Ida explained to be exposed genitalia and threatened to call the Child Protective Services to report the indecent exposure in front of a 10-year-old.
Oh, shut up.
Lorenzo told the officer she believed the young woman was a minor as well. I asked her why she thought it was appropriate to touch another person and how she thought that to protect a minor would mean to touch another, assuming a minor, the officer wrote. Lorenzo told the officer she never touched the young woman, only her skirt.
Oh, well, in that case, that's all good.
The officer explained that touching the other woman's clothing was criminal behavior and not appropriate.
She said, I didn't do that.
I asked her why she did not call the police, and she told me that it would have taken the police too long to respond, so she had to take the action herself. Well, that kind of ties in. See how I tie these things in? That
well, thank God we have her on the case.
Right. She's on the case protecting us from looking at naked buttocks.
That's right. Thank God for her. Bitch.
The police were contacted the next day by the young woman in the video who reported she had been sexually assaulted. The officer wrote, 7 additional witnesses came forward and provided statements to the police. The young woman told the officer Lorenzo approached her while her back was turned to her, and without any notice or formal warning, she felt cold hands go up her skirt.
Lovely.
Touching her buttocks.
Young ladies.
Young ladies.
Young ladies.
Before she felt her skirt being pulled on. The officer wrote that he confirmed that the woman had been wearing underwear and shorts beneath the skirt, which the woman said would make any inappropriate exposure impossible. In meeting with the officer again, Lorenzo continued denied touching the young woman's skin, only her skirt. She said she believed the young woman was a minor and she felt that she needed to intervene, according to the affidavit. Lorenzo continued to state that she believed the female was completely nude under the skirt. I explained to Ida that the belief that the victim was a minor should have been more reason to not touch the victim. Lorenzo was booked in Washington County Jail without incident. According to the officer's report, she later posted bail and was released with a promise to appear in court. According to the court documents, an initial court appearance is scheduled for June 19th.
Death penalty.
Yeah. So do you have that video by any chance?
I don't see it here. Well, let me look at it. While I look for it, I'll just give you this picture instead, just to celebrate goodness. I'll just celebrate a little goodness.
Oh yeah, that's Sydney
Sweeney.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Utah.
she's got a lot of backlash about that guy saying, she wasn't attractive.
Well, that guy's an idiot. Let's see, videos. Utah woman.
I just sent you a TikTok link.
Oh,
I don't have TikTok, so you can look that up.
All right, let me see here. Well, where's the link?
Sorry for having great tits.
She's not wrong.
Yeah, Sydney's got great tits. She's got a nice little slim waist and a nice curvy ass and nice big boobies.
And she said that she's happily going to do more. Hold on. Oh, shit. Oh, I already want to punch this Karen right in the fucking face. Holy shit. It's been on my screen 1 second. Everything about this is already bad.
You're already annoyed.
Yeah, I don't like Dorothea's sister here. All right, let's go. Here we go.
Okay.
What the fuck is happening?
I happen to work for the state, and if
So?
I have to watch your ass cheeks hanging out again, I will call CPS.
So call him.
So I will.
Yeah, go for it right now.
She's over 18.
She is 19 years old.
Her butt cheeks.
You don't get to touch her. You don't
You
get
don't
to
get to
touch
touch
her.
her. All sitting over
You
there.
don't get to touch her.
Yeah,
Then
I
you
do.
can come up and talk to her. You do not get to touch her.
Really?
We would love for you to
Yeah,
come.
please.
Stop looking at people.
Go ahead.
I like that these girls are telling this lady to go fuck herself.
Yeah, they're just like, you don't have a right to touch her.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, I like
bitch.
her. Oh, really?
Yeah, bitch. I like her and her hot friends just saying fuck you.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish this up.
Go ahead and call the police.
Why are you touching?
Who is she to say what's appropriate?
I need to intervene.
Yeah, stupid whore.
I need to step in here.
Yeah. No one cares what you think.
Yeah, you're a little hottie, and I don't like it.
Nah. It's not their fault that your fucking husband's cheating on you. Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably. I would be. I had to come home to that.
Yeah. Pull your skirt down, ho.
Yeah. She needs to pull a bag over her.
Right.
All the way over her. Jesus, shut up, Grandma.
Right.
How about this? As a 55-year-old guy the same age as you, I'm assuming, I want to see a 19-year-old ass. I absolutely want to see that. I'm for that. What do you think of that? You don't speak for me, you bitch.
Yeah. Don't tell me how to do this.
That's right. Stupid
All right.
whore. Hey, it's Chris Akin from Chris Akin Presents, The Classic Metal Show, and The Seth Williams Show. Now, we know it's frustrating to have to use this website for videos, that website for podcasts, and still another for the live shows. Well, let's end that shit right now. Get the Locals app and get it all in one place. This is free, folks. You don't have to pay to get most of the great content that we're doing. Like I said, it is free. On your phone or device, just go to locals.com in your iOS or Google Play Store, install it, and create an account. Open the app, surf to the search from the bottom, and type in Classic Metal Show. Then click Join. That's it. Once you join, you can click on the triangle button at the bottom, and you can select from videos, live streams, both past and active, or podcasts. Watch and listen right there. When a stream is live, you can participate in the chat right from that screen if you choose. If you want our exclusive content, just click support when you visit the Classic Metal Show community. It's simple, and it's the best way to stay engaged with all of my shows, so sign up today. Hail and kill.